Hey guys, I'm in the commercial yard today. I got kind of busy with it and didn't get the progress filmed, but I was going through and counting numbers of frames of bees so that I know what I can send to California. And so I've got some that were struggling that are down to 4 and 5, a couple of dead outs. Here's one that's got 16 frames of bees in the box. So once I went through them and I cleared the landing boards too, there were dead bees in the bottom from that big cold we just had, and some of them were plugged up. So I got those all scraped and cleaned so everybody can get out. And then I wrote the number in each one up on the top box. So I went back through and I listed them by pallet, because we need 8 frames of bees to get paid in almonds. But if I've got, you know, a box that's got 16 and a box that's got 5 and a box that's got 7 and a box that's got 9, you know, we're got an average. So I need to know that so I know which pallets I need to mess with and which ones I don't. Some of these are really small. They've got, you know, 2 or 3 frames of bees. So if I've got a 16, I'm going to shake some of those bees in, because 2 frames of bees won't make it to California and back. It's too much stress. So I've gone through and wrote down what I've got. Now I can go home and sit down and, you know, figure out what I need to do, how many pallet loads I've got. I've got bees at home also, so some of those I could fill in to some of the dead outs and see what I could put together and what we can get shipped. So like I say, sorry I didn't, you know, get some filming of me going through them, but it was pretty quick. Just popping them open, doing an inspection, cleaning the bottom board, counting frames, and throwing pollen patties in. Everybody got some pollen sub. I've had a lot of local people, when I start talking about that, ask if they should be putting it in to theirs yet, and my answer is no. Mine are going to head south. I need them brooding up, so and growing. But if you're staying here with them and you put pollen in and they start to brood up too much, they can run themselves out of food and build up too much before it's time. So I would hold off putting it in there if your bees are just staying home. So anyhow, it's starting to rain. I'm all sweaty and cold, so I'm gonna get in the pickup and go home. So after I was done going through them and writing down what each box had, I went back through and wrote them down by pallets. So I've got a pallet here. These are the numbers, the number of the colony. These are the number of bees in the colony. So now I can go through and balance, and I can do my legwork in here, so when I get into the yard I know exactly what I'm doing. So like here's a pallet. There's 2 boxes with 17 bees in them. There's 2 boxes with 4 bees, 4 frames. So I can balance in that pallet. I can fix it right there. I don't have to bring in any extra. Here's a pallet that has 1 dead out, so I need a box of bees for it. 1 box has 11, it's in fine shape. I've got a box with 5 and a box with 4, so I need 7 frames. And so I can take some of this and balance into here. I could take 3 out of this, but I don't believe I'm going to. I've got enough other colonies that I can take some from. But now I know I need 7 frames on this pallet, and I need 4 in this one and 3 in this one. So what I'm hoping to do is take those from my home yard, have them in a nuke box labeled L7 and L71, so that when I get there I know exactly which bees I've got to go in what box and how many I need. And I'm taking them from the same colonies. I'm not mixing 4 or 5 different colonies up if I can help it. And I believe when I'm done with this, if my math works out right, I'm actually going to have 100 colonies that are 8 frames plus that can go to almonds. So this is really exciting versus what we had last year, where I had a lot of losses. By this time of year, I only had, what did I have, 8 boxes of bees with 8 frames or better, and I didn't send anything to California. So this is pretty darn exciting to have them do this well, and I contribute most of it to good feed. They were on good feed. They were full. These were double deeps, full of honey. None of them went into winter with less than 8 frames of bees in them to start. So that was huge. The other thing is I go through here and balance some of these on the pallets. So these boxes that have 17 frames of bees and 18 frames of bees in a double deep with a feeder, there's only 18 frames in there. They're starting to get a little short of food. So if I grab 5 frames out of an 18 frame, and I grab 5 frames of bees, and I shove them in a box that's got 3 frames of bees, well, the box of 3 frames of bees has a bunch of honey. And so I'll be taking 5 frames of honey and putting them in the box, the 18 frame box, and now they'll have new honey. Now as soon as they get to California, they'll get fed, but I don't care. I would just assume they've got their own food on them. So for some reason they don't get fed, if they grow a little faster, whichever. I want them to have food. So I think it's going to be pretty good balancing. All I need is some decent weather to go do it in. We're looking at, today's the only day without rain, but it's cold and the wind's blowing. We got a few days we're only going to get, they say, a 1/4 inch, and it's going to be up in the low 50s. So those are the days I'll probably just have to suit up and go do it. Because I don't have a lot of time either. These have got to get headed out in the next couple weeks. So I've got to get these balanced. I also have a couple more pallets to build to get them on the right type of pallets that I want. So anyway, it just really helps me to have it all laid out exactly what I'm doing when I head to the yard, or I end up just going in circles.